there's 3 million channels in the partner program. So you're not competing with 100 million channels. There's 3 million channels in the partner program. But if you wanted to look at the goal that you have, if your goal is you want 100,000 subscribers, you want a silver play button, you possibly want to become a full-time content creator, that's roughly around 600,000 channels in the world.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the YouTube Creators Hub podcast. If you're looking to start, grow, or monetize your YouTube channel, this is the show for you. I interview wonderful creators each and every week on Fridays, 6 a.m. release time. And you can either listen to it on your podcast player of choice, or you can watch it here on YouTube if that is your preference. We have no advertisers for the show. We're just going to let you know what we provide to creators. Number one, I offer one-on-one private coaching. Links down below. I do channel reviews and audits. If you're not quite ready to hire a creator coach and invest that amount of money, you can get me to review your channel. And thirdly, we have a mastermind group. I release exclusive podcast episodes on that feed. $5 a month gets you in. You get access to our Creators Corner mastermind call every month. And we're really beefing up the kind of offerings over there. So for $5-10 a month, you're really getting probably the best bang for your buck. And also we have an email newsletter called the Entrepreneur's Minute, letting you know things that are interesting to me, what's going on behind the scenes of my business. And it's a great tool, never spammy, released on Fridays. And then if you're looking for the things that are mentioned throughout the show from every guest I've ever had on, we have a running spreadsheet called the Entrepreneur's Toolbox. All of that will be linked and mentioned down below. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and jump into this week's conversation. I'm joined today by a friend of mine, also fellow YouTube educator. Read you a little bit about my friend Roberto Blake really quick before I introduce him. He's a seasoned entrepreneur, YouTuber, digital marketing expert known for empowering creators through his Create Something Awesome mindset. He's the founder and CEO of Awesome Creator Academy and so much more. Over 500K YouTube subscribers and beyond. He frequently speaks at industry events. He just recently got back from a YouTube event not too long ago, and we're certainly going to be talking about that. But if you're trying to grow on YouTube or thinking about starting a YouTube channel, he is one of the guys that you will be listening to for a while. Roberto, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Dusty. Over 600,000 now.
Ooh, 600K. I had some old data, some old stats. It's now 600,000. I understand that.
Yeah, we're almost to 640K almost now. Yeah.
Good for you. I enjoy these conversations with you so much. We've done them now. This is the 5th or 6th one that we've done. Towards the end of the year, I also have Nick Nimmin on, and we do the State of YouTube hour-and-a-half long chat. And so I have really good friends, and I have people who are way smarter than me, and that's why I started this podcast, is to learn from them. And you are certainly one of those people. So let's just dive straight into it. You just got back from the YouTube event not too long ago in New York, and we learned a lot of stuff from that event. A lot of stuff was released and announced for YouTube creators specifically. So talk about that event. Give us a couple of highlights.
So I went to the Made on YouTube event. They host this in New York. They invite selected creators, educators, and the press to unveil and demo for us all the new features that they're going to be unleashing on YouTube in the coming year. And some of the things are going to be rolling out over the next couple of weeks, some over the next couple of months, some going into next year. So we can definitely talk about those. And they showed us a lot of interesting things. They showed us new AI creation tools for YouTube, especially for shorts. They showed us a whole new suite of things to be added to YouTube Studio, live streaming updates, tools for podcasters. There was a small announcement around YouTube Music. Dua Lipa came. She did not perform, but she told her story. Interestingly, a lot of people don't realize she started as a YouTuber at 12 years old. That's how she actually got her start.
Wow.
So a lot of people don't know that. And there's going to be a lot of stuff for YouTube monetization. There's about roughly 6 YouTube monetization updates. So we can start wherever you think your audience cares about most. We could talk about live, shorts, studio, or monetization. We can go anywhere you want. But I did want to give them some interesting factoids. 90% of creators don't have 1,000 subscribers in YouTube. 97% of creators don't have 10,000 subscribers in YouTube. There are less than 1 million channels with silver or gold play buttons. In fact, silver play buttons, it's roughly around 600,000 worldwide. 30% of YouTube users, daily users, watch live content on the platform. There are roughly 1 billion YouTube Shorts videos that have been uploaded, period, in existence right now. And there are, users watch 100 million hours of podcast on YouTube every single day. So yeah, that is some. Oh, and YouTube has paid out over $100 billion to creators, artists, and media companies over the last 4 years. If you just want what they've paid to creators in the last 6, 7 years, based on my math, they've paid out over $100 billion directly to creators through the YouTube Partner Program. Those are just some stats for the audience, some tidbits that they might actually like to understand the current state of YouTube.
So let's circle back to that first couple stats that you gave in regards to the size of channels, because oftentimes when I get on a coaching call or I'm working with a creator, they think that the majority of YouTube content creators are bigger than they are. So talk about that a little bit. Slow down just a little bit and let's break this down. The majority of channels on YouTube, number one, don't ever really last. It's like podcasting. There's so many podcasts out there with 3 to 5 episodes and then they just die off. So explain that and how that should be encouraging to the people listening to this as far as like consistency and staying with it.
There are over 115 million channels worldwide in 2025. You guys can look that up. So that comes from GMI and their data research. So it's the globally accepted stat. And I believe GMI is Global Media Insights, I think is the name of the company. So that stat is accepted worldwide as legitimate. Social Blade tracks almost 70 million channels, but we also know Social Blade doesn't automatically track channels that are under a certain threshold, usually under 100 subscribers. But those channels, again, new YouTube channels still count as YouTubers. So people should recognize that. In terms of the YouTube studio, 30 million creators are actively log into it every month, but that doesn't mean those are the same creators. So the thing is, that could be 50, 60 million people for sure that are active creators that are not like dead channels or whatever. And you have to keep in mind that that's just what YouTube is able to verify. So the thing is, we could say there's over 100 million YouTube channels. People are wide about, what about active channels? I feel like that's a nonsensical argument. There's just 100 million channels. Let's just do the math. And there's 3 million channels in the partner program. So you're not competing with 100 million channels. There's 3 million channels in the partner program. But if you wanted to look at the goal that you have, if your goal is you want 100,000 subscribers, you want a silver play button, you possibly want to become a full-time content creator, that's roughly around 600,000 channels in the world. In the United States of America, it's roughly just around 90-something thousand, 100-something thousand channels. I think I actually have the most recent stat, but it's somewhere in that neighborhood. It's close to 100,000 channels in the US. So if you're a content creator and you're listening to this podcast, you're an English speaking US content creator, you're not competing with 100 million channels. You're competing with maybe 150,000 channels. And out of that, how many of them are in your niche? And then how many of them have that silver play button? How many channels are there that are actually good? And then how many of those channels at that level are still even uploading? And then is there something that they aren't doing? There's a significant amount of an audience that watches a creator that may not be satisfied, but they may not, for lack of a better term, they might not have anywhere else to go. So if we think of it from that perspective, oh, yeah, and I have the U.S. numbers. As of August, it's 91,700 channels with 100,000 subscribers. A bunch of those are shorts channels like Dusty. So again, a lot of those are shorts channels. Some of them are corporations. Some of them are retired YouTube channels. So for whatever niche you're in, for the specific thing that you're doing, how many channels could you possibly actually be competing with?
I love stats. I love that data that you just gave. To me, that encourages me. Now, I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to put you on the spot. We didn't talk about this. What do you think if you were to say a common theme among the creators that reach that milestone? Let's just put it at 100K. What things, as a YouTube coach and person really dialed into this space, what would you say are the commonalities between the creators that make it to that point and the ones that don't?
Before the pandemic, I studied this with anonymized case studies before we had YouTube Shorts. So for long form creators, this stat is probably still relevant. Like I got from both vidIQ and TubeBuddy anonymized data on like 3 million channels they had access to. So a decent sample size. Most of those would be, in theory, English speaking, like content creators. And then I also did a data dump from Social Blade. I was paying for a gold level Social Blade account with $50 a month to be able to do data dumps. And so I was doing a bunch of data dumps. I even recently in the last year did some data dumps from Social Blade. And I've been looking at all these stats and I've been analyzing channels. I've reviewed over 5,000 YouTube channel reviews publicly on my channel with our weekly Friday channel reviews that we do for Super Chats. I've coached like 700 content creators personally, like one-on-one. So when I looked at the stats, on average, I found that the creators who at least get to 100,000, most of them upload between 500 to 1,000 videos to accomplish that. So they're ridiculously consistent. And I found on average, they create content for 5 to 7 years to reach that threshold. And I found that usually their growth came from roughly the top 20% of their uploads. 80% of their uploads did not perform well. Only 20% of their uploads performed well is what I found, which means people get way too discouraged. But it's the Pareto principle, right? It's the 80-20 rule, as we call it. 80% of your results will come from 20% of your efforts. If you look at a big YouTuber, let's say Peter McKinnon, his channel is very top heavy. It is, for all of his hundreds of uploads, there are about maybe 50, 60 videos that are responsible for the overwhelming majority of his YouTube channel growth and his subscriber count. So you could definitely look at that as a really good example. Like, I think that like Peter has hundreds of uploads, but let's say Peter had 500 uploads, which may or may not be the number. Let's assume that was 500 uploads. It's probably more than that. Oh, actually, yeah, Peter has 765 videos. There will probably only on Peter's channel be 100 or so videos that might have over 1 million views, right? Those would be the outliers that grew his channel the most. It'd be like 150 out of his 750 videos would have been what grew his channel the most. It wouldn't have given him all of his subscribers, but it would have given him like 80% of his subscribers, 80% of his views, because those would all be the outliers. People don't make enough content to have enough outliers to grow in a lot of cases. So that's a big one. So it's that they give up too soon. I'll give you another anecdote. Mr. Beast made 100 videos, which is people give up before they ever, most YouTube creators who fail, they don't even make 100 videos. Just like you were talking about with podcasters, they don't even get to, the average podcaster doesn't even get to 8 uploads. We found out that the majority of podcasts are inactive and stopped under 8 uploads is what we found. I think there's a statistic out on that, right? So you look at Mr. Beast, he made 100 videos. He didn't even get monetized. He didn't even get 800 subscribers off his first 100 videos. In fact, he made 460 videos to get to 10,000 subscribers and break through that 97% ceiling, right? The average YouTuber, to be successful, tends to make 500 to 700 videos. Now, if you're making extremely low effort content, you're just uploading Let's Play videos, you could have 3,000 videos and never get to 1,000 subscribers if you're making the lowest tier. And I hate to say this because it's going to hurt some people's videos. If you're making low tier trash videos and you're just uploading to upload, then it's not going to work. The quantity part of quality is improving. If all you're doing, and you're not a pro gamer, is just uploading Let's Play videos with or without commentary, if you wanted to grow off of that, go to TikTok, because it's not going to work when it comes to YouTube consumption. YouTube is the new television. So it takes people, and most creators are working class creators. They work a 9-to-5 job, 40, 50 hours a week. They're making content with the scraps of their leftover energy. So the quality of what they're making is often not there sometimes initially, and it takes them a long time, 4 years, to where their content's actually starting to get good. And then they're trying to make content, work a 9-to-5 job, learn about content creation and all these bloody changes every minute. So it takes them a while to get some momentum in terms of actually improving at their craft, because they're also taking massive breaks and slumps in between their craft. And then they're coming back and then everything's changed and they have all these ups and downs, and a lot of them just give up. So that's what really happens. The people who break out, I'll be honest, a lot of the biggest creators that people think got lucky, it's not that they got lucky with the algorithm. If you wanted to argue for any luck, I would say it would be lifestyle luck, if nothing else. I don't really believe in luck, but let's just call it their circumstances. It's not that they're lucky. They had better circumstances than you. Some people would call that quote unquote privilege. But think about it like this. If you're working a 9-to-5 job and you work 50 hours a week, and somebody is a college kid, part-time college kid, and they live at home, they live in the suburbs, $600,000 house, and their parents bought them a camera and said, yeah, this YouTube hobby thing, we're going to get you the one thing you really want for your birthday. Here is a Sony camera, a good mic. We know you're passionate about this. That 22-year-old kid has a much better chance of being a successful YouTuber. That 19-year-old kid has a much better chance of being a successful YouTuber than the 35-year-old going to the salt mines every day and then coming back after being exhausted and trying to bang out a video. It's not even close. That kid that has all their youth, stamina, energy, enthusiasm in the world and has some resources and has supportive parents and is living the most interesting time they think in their life, with everything to look forward to, has no idea that they can even fail, has a much better chance of being successful at YouTube. And that is what come out of YouTube, which is why the biggest creators all tend to have this thing in common. They're under 30, they are not married, and they don't have children. And most of them never had to work a 9 to 5 job, 40, 50 hours a week in their whole life, or never had to do it more than a year. Take Eyes Show Speed. The only job he's ever had in his life besides content creator, as one of the world's biggest streamers, is he, at the tender age of 16, worked as a server for 1 year, and that's it. He's never worked a job in his life. So again, the person who has unlimited time, unlimited energy, has the biggest advantage in YouTube. For the working class content creator in their 30s or 40s, their YouTube channel usually grows when they get to have summer vacation. Like one of my coaching clients, Cassandra from Becoming a Farm Girl, she does most of her content and gets most of her growth during the summer because she works in education. And so she gets the summers off. And so she has like this whole 3 months where it's the easiest for her to make the most of her content.
Yeah, there's so many things to take from what you just said. I just know that people really underestimate the amount of time it required to really put in the work to find a channel that is successful. And most people come to me and they want me to review their channels, and they've got 42 videos uploaded, which is great. I can give you some advice and kind of some direction, but until we really get a precedence of content, backlog of content, it's hard for me to really help them beyond just the base level stuff of, hey, direction of branding and direction of where you need to go. I will say this, as far as the way that YouTube is going now in 2025, in the age of artificial intelligence, everything is so busy, Roberto. Like all the socials are being uploaded to so much more frequently now because everyone has a phone. It's harder to stand out, but if you know the right things to do, you can stand out. And so what are the right things to do, Roberto? What should we do in this day and time when people are going to a home feed and they're not going to a subscriptions feed that is curated for them like it was 10 years ago when you and I were starting back 10, 15 years ago? What do we do to stand out?
Well, this is part of what my talk at Vid Summit this year in October is going to be, is specifically actually how to stand out on YouTube. So I can give you a little bit of a teaser. It's very hard to stand out when you don't even know who the hell you are.
That's right.
Most creators lack any clarity. If you had to talk to someone and they had to tell you what's special about them, they can't. So a lot of people want to stand out, but they can't tell you why they're special or why they're more deserving of attention or what they bring to the table or what they offer in unique value.
Yeah. Tim Ferriss calls this on his podcast. He calls it, what is your superpower? Right. Yep. Find what your superpower is, lean into that, and find out how you can help others with that superpower, whatever the thing is. And so I think as a YouTuber and a creator, maybe you want to do RV life and an adventure channel and whatever, off the grid channel, whatever it may be. This is great. That's the theming behind the content strategy of what you're doing. But as far as who you are and who you're trying to reach, what makes you different? What makes you special? What is your superpower? And so I want to ask you specifically.
The next thing would also be like, who is attracted to that? And is that a big enough market to get you the results you want? Or AKA, can you make enough money in that market to be full-time creator if that's what you want? Or again, if you want to feel validated, is there enough attention in this market and enough people in this market to satisfy your ego and not have your feelings hurt when you hit upload?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Is there a big enough, like you said, audience for the market? And there's been very few coaching clients that have hired me, and I've had to tell them the market is not big enough. There's been some, but very few. And oftentimes it's just a slight pivot of, okay, you're wanting to do this exact thing. I had a client wanted to really focus in on helping people grow their consulting business. It was very broad. It was just, hey, I want to help you with consulting. And then we narrowed it down a bit, and they're seeing a great deal of success. And I think that's just an example of what you're referring to.
Yeah, you have to understand, and you have to understand what your goal is. Some people's goal is not to have, if your goal is to get clients, you may not need a big market. You could have a market that is very niche specific. If your market is very wealthy individuals, that's a smaller market than the largest common denominator. And you don't need a big YouTube channel to be successful. You don't need a bunch of subscribers and views. If you specifically said, do not watch this channel if you're not an affluent individual that has disposable income, that disqualifies 99% of us. So guess what? But here's the thing, that smaller market is worth a lot more than a bigger one very easily. So that's where real estate channels do extremely well when they're local focused. I was working with this guy, Dave. He is killing it, not in terms of views, but his YouTube channel has grown his real estate business to the best it's ever been. And like he's happy with the YouTube growth. I think he's coming up on 10,000 subscribers here soon, but he doesn't need the YouTube growth. He needs the YouTube channel to grow his business. And then you go the other direction. There are plenty of creators I know and I've helped. They get tens of millions of views. I have a creator I'm working with right now on a short split strategy. In the last month, we've done 100 million views, but his audience is a bunch of broke kids. So like he can't sell anything. There's a limit to what sponsors are willing to pay to reach that audience compared to somebody else. It works mostly. He gets decent views on his long form, like a long form video get 20, 30,000 views. He's at 40,000 subscribers. So that's tremendous. But he's getting 10 million, sorry, not 10 million, 100 million in a month from short form. And it does really well, but that's not an audience he can ever sell anything to specifically because of just what the market is. He can grow the channel very rapidly. We're going to hit 100,000 subscribers on the channel before the end of the year. Meanwhile, there's somebody that could have a smaller channel, but they can get massive brand deals. There's someone I'm working with. They have a homesteading channel. They can get a sponsorship from a tractor company because they're doing reviews. He has 3 tractors he's bought in his lifetime on the farm there, and he was doing reviews and breakdowns. A tractor supply company, they have very expensive parts. If he does an affiliate partnership with that, he can make a massive commission off of just a handful of sales. And yeah, it won't get a lot of views, but the only people watching that can afford $30,000 to $50,000 to buy a tractor, or they can spend a couple $1,000s on a part to maintain their tractor because it maintains their livelihood on their farm.
I saw the strategy, the short split strategy that you were talking about over on X, and I saw the data from the screenshots you posted. Has your opinion on shorts changed over the past couple of years? What are your thoughts?
Market. My opinion on shorts has changed with shorts themselves. I have always said that when YouTube launches something, it's good for momentum to jump on fast, but understand its volatility. The thing is unstable at launch. The thing that you do as early as possible, it'll be the worst it'll ever be. So my opinions on shorts were where we were in the market, and also understanding that we were in a pandemic bubble of some of these things being somewhat inflated there. Now that we have been post-pandemic, we see what the normal market is. We also now see where things are in a world where TikTok has lost most of its cultural cachet. So my opinion on shorts has changed with the reality of shorts changing. And so the reality when I first talked about shorts was the RPMs were between 1 and 5 cents RPMs. They're now 20-cent RPMs, but they get 10 to 100 times the views of a normal video, which balances it out. And my belief is that shorts should not be compared 1-to-1 with regular videos. You see this in my brief about the short split strategy, is that I think that all shorts should be thought of as do them in bulk or not at all. They're not disposable content. Make them evergreen if you can. Do them in bulk or not at all. Because there's no point in doing them as a supplement of, I didn't upload a YouTube video, so I'll upload a short. Wrong answer. 1 YouTube video is equivalent to 10 YouTube shorts, and that's my standard practice. That's the effort to equivalency or effort to earning ratio, is you do this. And the short split strategy has been working for the creators that have embraced it. I've gotten DMs from people. There's people I'm working with that are doing it now, and it's working. because we're increasing the surface area of how many people can be aware of them. And I stopped the mentality, and this is very important for your audience. I stopped people's mentality of thinking of shorts value in relation to what about my long form views, or, oh, I'm getting all these short subscribers, but I'm not getting long form views. Stop worrying about your long form views. Think about a restaurant. You have this bar and grill. You're really proud of your burgers that you like to make by hand, your handmade burgers and everything like that. But you have a fraternity and sorority that came in, and they're just coming in and buying beers. They're buying a bunch of Dos Equis. Okay. Are you really that mad that they're all buying Dos Equis round after round and telling you how great the bar is and how much fun they're having and how great the aesthetics are? And you're saying, but guys, don't you want burgers? I'm really good at making burgers. I'm really proud of my burgers. I put so much hard work into my burgers. It's like the money is going into the till. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm doing something right now the past couple of weeks, and I'm not sure how similar it is to the Shorts Blitz strategy that you're utilizing. So my channel is all majority search-based, evergreen, tutorial tech content on my main channel. It's doing really well. It's doing as good as it's ever done, but I really don't want to be left behind. And so I've been experimenting with doing these just kind of 60-second, the new iOS just released these 60-second kind of tip videos, and I'm finding that they're showing up in search, and they're showing up in Google, and they're getting presented in AI tools like Claude, ChatGPT.
Exactly.
And the thing is, yes, the ad revenue and the RPMs are way lower than my long form. Now, some of my long forms have astronomically high because of the topics I'm talking about. But with shorts, you're exactly right. I think of them as, hey, 10 shorts equate to one long. But here's the deal. They take so much less time to make. They are easier, and I can put out multiple of them in a day if I really wanted to. I'm not sending them to my subscriber feeds. And I talked to Daniel Batal about a year ago, and he was talking about this thing he did with DaVinci Resolve, where he did a 60-part tutorial of, hey, go watch this next one. And people don't realize this. One of the biggest growing things in media right now are these vertical, like soap opera apps where people are watching entire movies. My wife does this. She'll consume like entire scenes from our favorite show, The Rookie, just in vertical video on Facebook. So I think we have to change and alter the way we think about our content. It's not replacing my long form, right? It's just supplementing it. And so maybe speak on what is a Shorts Blitz?
It's just another preference. We have to think of shorts content as just another preference. Just like I said, someone buying a bunch of Dos Equis is not hurting your restaurant. The money's going into the till. The idea that your shorts is hurting your long form is ego and vanity, because there's an idea that needs to die in the YouTube community, and it's this view to sub ratio. Oh, I have this many subscribers. I should have this many views on my long form. Stop glorifying your long form. Stop. Oh, the RPMs are lower and everything. Okay, here's the thing. Whatever money you make at the end of the month is whatever money you make at the month. Do you care that it came from long form shorts or live streams or super chats or memberships? The money is going into the till. This is why we have to stop thinking like an artist and start selling like an agency and treat YouTube like a business. Unless it's a hobby and unless you actually are an artist, this is not an art project, and your ego needs to die. We need the ego death of YouTube creators. The money is going into the till. That is what matters. So here's the thing that matters. How much time are you working away from your family, and how much money are you making in exchange for that? That is the thing you need to focus on, not view to sub ratio, not how your long form performs and how it makes you feel. Kill your ego, take the emotion out of it. With regard to shorts, look at it as a preference. Again, there's nothing wrong with your waffles if I like pancakes, and the money is still going into the till for your restaurant. It doesn't matter what I ordered off the menu. I consumed something from your establishment, and I rewarded you for it. Take it for what it is. Take yes for an answer. Okay, so what I would say with shorts and what the Shorts Blitz strategy is this. Depending on your niche, 3 to 5 shorts a day or 5 to 8 shorts a day. There is an extreme version where 8 to 12 is acceptable, but I don't like pushing that boundary. There are specific niches for that, and those are the rarest niches. But if you are doing, let's say you're a gaming channel, the answer for a gaming channel, let's say you're doing Roblox or Clash Royale, and I have creators doing this. In fact, actually, I had someone doing a Roblox channel. They only did 1 short a day.
My daughter wants to do a Roblox channel.
Yeah, they do primarily shorts. They've done very little long form. It's a little rougher for them. For 3 months, 1 short a day, They did the 10 million views. They're in the partner program now. They've done 10 million views with the shorts in 90 days with one upload a day. And they're at 40,000 subscribers. New goal is to get them to do 3 to 5 a day, because we know we can get to 100,000 subscribers in the year because we got to 40K in 3 months.
I interrupt this conversation just for the next 30 seconds to tell you about our newest offering, which is our YouTube channel reviews and YouTube audits. 6 to 8 minute recorded screencast from me personally, where I take a look at your channel at a glance and tell you what I think you could be doing better. So if you're looking for another set of eyes on your channel, doesn't matter where you are along the journey, I believe it's one of the best things that you can do. So check that out if you haven't already. Now back to the conversation. The 3 to 5 shorts, what is the interval between does it matter? And are you
for safety, we're doing 45 minutes to an hour. And remember, I just told you that one with the Roblox channel, this was a channel that had 0 subscribers when it started. And in 3 months, It's at 40,000 subscribers. It's going to be 100,000 before the end of the year, most likely, because we're going to go to 3 a day. 2 to 3 a day for this channel, because that's what he can handle, because he has another channel that he's doing in a different game. He's doing a Brawl Stars channel, and he's still trying to maintain that channel. That channel has 50,000 subscribers. The game is a little stale right now, but he doesn't want to give up on it. He's very passionate about it. But the Roblox channel is growing so fast that he's going to do at least 2 to 3 shorts a day on that, because he does want the silver play button. But that was, remember, a 0 subscriber channel, 3 months, 40K. 1 short a day. We can definitely go to 100K off of 3 a day, let alone 5. He just wants to do the other channel because he's passionate about it.
Yeah, I'm working on launching. I don't know if you know this or not. My wife, we're expecting triplets by the end of this year, probably the second week of December. We were trying to have a 3rd kid, and ended up getting 3. And so we have two boys and a girl to go along our already 2 girls, and so we're going to be a family of 5. Anyways, I say all that to say, I'm going to launch a Porter family YouTube channel, because I think there's a lot of people who would love to follow along with our journey. And I think the way that I'm going to do it is exactly what you're talking about, is just launching it with some shorts and then replicating those over on TikTok, and then try to grow a following.
It can be like 8 to for vlogging, it could be 5 to 12 a day, and they can be these slice of life, day in the life type stories. We, for safety, to not get hit for spam flagging, do 45 minutes to an hour apart of uploads scheduled out. You just don't want to mass upload, but what you want to do is you can schedule them. You could mass upload, but not publish. So you don't want to mass publish, but you'd schedule and stagger.
You could schedule them out.
Exactly so. And so, yes, people will follow the family, the storylines. They'll have a favorite family member that they follow. It'll be their version of a sitcom, like, and it's scrolling. So it's scrolling versus clicking is a different psychology, and it's a different preference. Never would I ever choose this for myself, but having found this through serendipity, I can't stop. Oh, thank God that the algorithm brought me here. Oh, it brought me to the wholesome side of the platform.
I also think that search is we're going to see that search and shorts are going to be a nice marriage, way better than we thought. And so I think that my RPM right now on shorts, and granted, I've just started doing this, okay, is around 17 to 20 cents.
Yep.
Per 1,000 views, which is, in my mind,
it's going to double in 2 to 3 years. It's going to double. It's going to go to 50 cents. In 2 to 3 years. Neil Mohan will bring more advertisers to the platform because he's the best in the business at it. He worked at DoubleClick before DoubleClick was bought by Google. He's been advertising, I think, for 30 years of his adult life, if not more. There's no one better in the world of advertising and bringing advertising to the table than Neil Mohan. He will get YouTube Shorts revenue up to 50 cents, if not $1, over the next 3 years. I promise you.
Which, to me, that's insane, because like you said, the amount of views you can get on a short just dwarfs that of what you can get on a long. Now, I want to transition into this. You mentioned a couple of stats at the beginning of this conversation. And here, you guys are getting behind the scenes conversation between me and Roberto right now. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. I think these things are so important. The antithesis of vertical video is, in my mind, long form podcast and live streams. Okay. And what I mean by that is that the consumption duration is so much higher and it's different. We're sitting in front of a screen. We're watching on a second monitor a live streamer. And you said that live streams and podcast consumption on YouTube has gone through the roof. You can mention those numbers again if you want to. Why do you think that is? And how should that change how creators think going forward?
So all content, people need to think about content instead of platforms and realize that the best content, and also even formats, the best content can exist on any platform and any format. Primary example, you said yourself, people like your wife, even though it's not the format it's made for, are watching movies, not in the thing that they were shot for, in vertical. So it's not even the best experience of the thing, but she's still enjoying it because, again, it's also something she wouldn't have chose to watch on her own. She's experiencing it with the algorithm playing into some psychology or subconscious saying, oh, I think you'll like this. And it's, oh, I would have never chose this on my own, but having seen it, I can't help myself. And now I want to watch the full movie. So that's
and also, she's a mom and she's busy and she doesn't have time to sit in front of a big screen. And so the time she has to decompress is when she's watching that for about 15 to 30 minutes.
Exactly. And it's swipe. And it's for that. So it's in those moments when you're at your lowest amount of agency to do decision fatigue and choose something, because it removes the decision of clicking, choosing, committing out of the thing. It's just scroll and serendipity, and it's a low level commitment. That is the value proposition. So it's a different value proposition, and there are points in your day and in your life where that's the right move. So content existing for that, by the way, there's like over 5 billion YouTube videos, but there's only 1 billion YouTube shorts. The demand for shorts outstrips the supply of them. There are 200 billion shorts views per day, but there's only 1 billion shorts. The demand far outweighs the supply. It's not even close. So that's a big deal. And that's why I think shorts also work. By the way, most shorts are, people's argument is, oh, they're not made very well. Exactly. So that means if you make them and you already are a very good content creator and you also are in a market that has demand and now you increase supply, you win because you also win on freshness, because the goal with the shorts Blitz, as I'm explaining it, and this will round back to the live streams and podcast in a minute because there's actually a good pipeline for this. So like one of the channels that I work with, this kid Jake, what he does is he plays this game, Clash Royale. You've probably heard of it. Big streamer right now is playing it. Jinxie, Mr. Beast even got in on it and collabed with him. So it's a big popular game right now, but it's a vertical mobile game on the phone. So it's a free to play game. So that's accessible to a very young audience. It's accessible to anybody because it's a free to play mobile game in a vertical format. Perfect for YouTube. Right. I've coached other creators. I don't only coach gamers, but right now I just happen to have a couple of clients. But I've even coached one of the Clash Royale world champions, Juicy J. He embraced vertical live streaming. He kills it. And every time he streams, he gets like 250,000 to 500,000 views, right? Vertical. And YouTube is merging vertical and horizontal screens and one chat, one analytics set, all of it. And viewers will be able to choose their own adventure, like vertical or horizontal, take your pick. And it'll all be merged for the creator with no third-party tools required. So that's going to be a great update. So that's coming soon for people.
Explain that again. Say that one more time.
Okay. So let's say you want to live stream. YouTube will be able to format your live stream for you in this layout feature in Studio. And there'll be a horizontal and a vertical stream. It'll only take one stream key. You don't even need any accessories. You can still use OBS or whatever is going to take your stream key. And you can decide to have horizontal and vertical at the same time.
Both.
Viewers will be able to choose their own experience. Oh, do you want vertical? Do you want horizontal? And it'll show up in the vertical scrolling feed, what people call the shorts feed. It's the vertical feed. Your live streams are there, so more reach. But also if there's people like, oh, this is a better experience horizontal, they'll be able to see it. So YouTube will take care of all that for you, and it'll still be one chat. Instead of you having to launch 2 live streams, it'll be one chat, one comment section, one set of analytics, all there.
That's powerful. I like that.
So taking your podcast and live streamer example, you'll have podcast and live streams that are going to want to take advantage of that, because with the podcast, they can do the podcast as a live stream. They can take advantage of that. So now imagine a scenario like where you have a kid playing a game. They can sit there and they can do their gameplay, their commentary, do it for 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever. And then in the case of Jake, okay, go back, let's clip 5 to 8 things from that. You already did the thing really great, really intentionally already there. We don't need a lot of editing. What's the editing turnaround on these 5 to 8 videos? 10 to 15 minutes maximum effort. That's it, because it's already good enough. And because the audience just wants the gameplay and just wants that moment. They don't need anything else. Boom. That's all we did for the shorts. So that means the whole work day for him is 3 hours for that content side plus an hour of admin work, 4-hour workday. What are the results of that? He let me share this because you saw me share it on Twitter. So the results are, and we've only been doing this for 3 weeks. We're hitting week 4 now. So we're about to hit our 100 million view month. But in 28 days, 10,000 in YouTube partner program revenue, with 9,000 of that being specifically from short form versus 1,000 from his long form, getting some of those extra views boost. The 3 to 5 videos a day, but he didn't even make all the days. There were days that he missed. Oh, just didn't have the ability to upload that day, whatever. Not counting the money he made, up to $3,000 from repurposing it to TikTok. Another $3,000 right there. Boom. And growth of 18,000 subscribers so far. It's about to hit 20K. So basically, when we round it out for the month, it's going to be basically about 12K plus an ad revenue, 15 if you add in TikTok, 20,000 subscribers in a month, and 100 million shorts views in a month. And that's the conclusion from doing the 5 to 8 video shorts blitz every day. And that's with missing days, Dusty. That's with missing days. That's what a month. That's the strategy. For vlogs, do it with storytelling.
Would you recommend, and I want to follow up because you say, okay, we upload 3 to 5, 5 to 7. There is a strategy there. I know, as far as I get it, it's less time to upload and everything. But would you recommend people who do this, who are uploading
5 a day? If it was tech videos, it'd be like 3 to 5 a day, and it'd be product reviews. And we'd use the YouTube tag products featuring for YouTube shopping and make a crap ton of money. And we would largely also do these, especially, but we do 5 to 8 a day for a week if there's a new product release cycle like Techtober and there's stuff like that. Or if you had access to things like the DJI Osmo and everything like that, we'd be like pounding the heck out of that right now.
Man, would you recommend that these people who do shorts to just automatically repurpose it on TikTok? Why not?
Yes.
And what are the monetization requirements over there?
Different monetization requirements, 10,000 followers over there as far as monetization requirements. I have a spreadsheet somewhere with monetization requirements, but for TikTok, it's 10,000 followers. What else? The main thing is the 10,000 followers. That'll be the most important part of that because I have a monetization matrix somewhere. But yeah, 10,000 followers. And a gray market hack that we also have that some people will do this at your own risk is we found out that since people like TikTok doesn't seem to help and support when people steal like content, we determined an interesting, weird strategy of just literally quote unquote, oh, what if we steal our own content? And by that, I take a second device we already own, make a new account that has no name relation to us, and then take our own content and just re-upload it in a different order with no additional changes and monetize a second channel, freebooting our own TikToks with second TikTok account on a completely different device.
Interesting.
And there's been no downside, backlash, penalties, or suspensions for doing that. So it literally double dips on the money. And also some of the results are wildly different on the uploads for doing that. Yeah, so we did that. Not for Jake, but we're doing that for some other people. And that was a smart thing, in my opinion, if somewhat dubious, but it worked. Yeah. So yeah, repurpose to TikTok, Instagram Reels, and surprisingly Snapchat, and you can make more money. And again, depends on what your niche is.
Yeah, it really depends. If you were a working class creator and you weren't like one of these very young people who have unlimited time, don't have to have a day job, but if you were a working class creator right now and you had a channel, what would be your programming as far as what formats would you do? How frequently would you upload?
I'd immediately go into news, reaction, or cultural commentary or politics if I can take the heat. I would live stream for an hour to 2 hours on that from my downtime. Use that to make clips and post 3 to 5 20-minute clips of news stories, reactions, or commentary every single day to my channel. And then I'd be clipping 5 to 8 shorts out of that I could try to make evergreen or at least somewhat long standing, and then I'd be sitting there with Opus and then blasting that to my YouTube shorts and to 2 different TikTok accounts. And that would be a round trip of about 4 hours of work a day. And that is exactly what I'd be doing as a working class creator. I'd be on that grind set, and eventually I would feel like that would print me enough money to leave the 9 to 5 job. Then I definitely probably don't expand my hours that much, if I'm being honest. And then I find something that I like doing for a personal brand, spin up an Instagram for people who follow me, who agree with my point of view, and branch into a lifestyle brand over on Instagram. And if anything, potentially do a lifestyle channel that fits whatever my reaction commentary is. Very smart strategy. So if you were a female content creator, for example, you would do your reaction commentary thing, but then you do something for the girlies that they really like, and you do some lifestyle content that is around just like living your best life, which would mean, okay, you are going into not necessarily the health and fitness space, but the healthy living space that could include, okay, this is my morning routine, and this is like some of my fit life stuff, and these are my favorite things and everything like that, which gets you brand deals, affiliate marketing, so on and so forth. So you monetize that. Because one of my thesis for YouTube for my upcoming talk is also you have lifestyle creators, entertainment creators, education creators, but then you have hybrids. And there's 4 hybrids, including the tribrid, which is when you're doing all 3. There are very rare instances of that, but and that could be not just limited to YouTube. It could be maybe you're a tribrid because of your holistic brand across all of your platforms. But a really good example of a hybrid is Ali Abdaal is an education lifestyle hybrid.
Yeah.
Very easily, it's easy to see that. There are vlog-like elements in his stuff. He's not an edutainer. An edutainer would be closer to Ed from Film Booth, for example, when he was doing the Film Booth channel of doing entertaining film aesthetic YouTube help videos with an educational twist on them. So that would be where he's an edutainer. Then you have people who are entertainment and lifestyle creators. I'm spacing on an example of, actually, no, I'm not spacing on an example. Entertainment and lifestyle. Casey Neistat. Casey Neistat's entertainment and lifestyle. Ryan Trahan is entertainment and lifestyle. His wife, Haley Pham, though, is education and lifestyle. You could see that. So those would be your examples of your hybrids. They're very rare tribrids where someone is doing entertaining, educating, and showing you a lifestyle thing. If I was going to say it, technically you can make an argument that Casey is there because of the message and also a lot of his tech angles. So if I was going to make an argument for a tribrid, it's closer to a Casey Neistat.
Is there anything that excites you a whole bunch in regards to the things that YouTube is rolling out for creators that you heard at this event? Can you just give me a couple of things that...
Oh yeah, the monetization. So brand deals. With brand deals, they're doing dynamic brand deal ad inserts. So what that looks like is, you know how we bake in and we edit in our ad read? Let's say we're not doing a full dedicated video. We're just doing a shout out. This video brought to you by Squarespace. If you want this, go to Squarespace, right? Whatever. This video brought to you by Riverside, whatever. Okay. That, instead of having that baked in, you could have that as a dynamic ad read, get approved by the brand, and then you could actually tell them, hey, I can dynamically insert this into videos in my back catalog that are already proven and making money. Do you want to go ahead and have an aligned video? And we just run this directly in there, and you can pay me on that because we know there's guaranteed views there. And they can say, yes, please, and thank you. Or for an upcoming video or an upcoming video series is, hey, we're doing a video series. There are some things that are already directly integrated in the video itself, but in terms of the actual ad read spot that you guys need, that's 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds. Hey, is this approved? Okay, great. Let's do this or these variations of it and put it in these videos. And yeah, we're going to dynamically insert it in this space in the video. And they can do that. And then, oh, I had to have that ad up for 6 months in the contract. Hey, 6 months are up. You want to renew? You can pay the ransom, or I can take it out because I have another sponsor lined up that's happy to take your place. So we do another 6 months. Haha. So you become a media seller. This is going to turn us from artists into agencies. Some people will hate that. I love it. You know that. I'm like, okay, stop thinking like an artist, start selling at the agency. And so this monetizes for evergreen creators like us. Our back catalog becomes more valuable. We can now sell our back catalog and have dynamic insert ads on that. We can sell upcoming videos and series much more easily in terms of having the approval and not have to frustrate ourselves with how to make this fit into a video anymore because of how it works. So that'll be good. Also, I think that for YouTube Premium, I can't guarantee this. I have to talk to Renee about it. But for YouTube Premium, I think if we do it this way, you know how people say, oh, I buy YouTube Premium and I'm having to sit through these baked in ads that were edited into the video by the creator. I think that by doing dynamic ad insertion, it'll actually make it to where premium users won't see these dynamic ads in the same way they don't see pre-roll and mid-roll ads. So that was a huge monetization thing. For live streamers, side-by-side ads that don't interrupt the thing, especially when you're watching on TV for live streams. So that's going to be an extra revenue stream, kind of like when YouTube used to have banner ads. So side-by-side ads there that don't interrupt the video. They're just like they're in the background. So that's another monetization thing we're getting. Brand deal links in YouTube Shorts. When a brand approves and whitelist, which also brands have to have a YouTube channel, boom, they get to approve it. Oh, there's your link out. So it's making brand deals great again for Shorts creators. So boom, you have that. So that's another monetization benefit. Auto tagging for us tech creators. I'm bringing tech videos back, but I'm also spinning off a tech channel that will basically be creator gear guide. It's going to be nothing but tech and a creator's perspective on all the cameras, microphones, lenses, gadgets, drones. And what's YouTube going to do? Auto tagging. It's going to detect products that are eligible for affiliate links and just generate the tagged product link for you in your shorts, your regular upload videos, so on and so forth, and do it with the appropriate timestamps for you, all powered by AI, and monetize that for you. And then you'll just make passive income from a YouTube shopping affiliate. So that's a huge one. What else? What other monetization goodies are there? Goes, there's going to be this brand hub. We won't see it, but brands will see when we mention their products and then go, ooh, creator mentioned me and they get this many views. Oh, maybe I'll reach out to them. And so make sure you have your email for business. And it's a good email and it's not some stupid email and it's not the one that controls your account, so that businesses will be able to reach out to you because they're going to have a brand hub now and see when you're mentioning them and how many views you're getting and what the videos were. And they're going to be able to reach out to you and say, hey, I want to maybe do a deal. So that's going to be another huge benefit for content creators. I think that was all the monetization updates, I think.
Yeah, those are the ones that I remember. An example of that, the dynamic ad placements are interesting. I have a video that does 3 to 5K views every day. It's got over 1 million views. It's about a communication software, and I've had 2 advertisers already approach me and say, hey, when this thing happens, would you be willing to put a 30-second mid-roll from us? And it's really good money. And so I think the power of that is your videos become proof of concept of where you have a video do really well. You now will have advertised. Let's say you're a fishing channel and the video's doing 100K views and is still growing. Then a bass boat company may approach you and say, hey, for the next 3 to 6 months, can we put one of these dynamic ads in said video? They know they're getting the bang for their buck and you're getting paid. Powerful.
Exactly. Yeah. You can also make a series of videos intentionally knowing that
yes,
I'm trying to attract this brand or a type of brand in this category. So it's, oh, you know what? If I do this, I really am hoping to get an audio sponsor by talking about this stuff. Or, oh, if I make a series about how to podcast, there's any number of sponsors that could care about that. If the series is doing well or even individual videos within the series are going, oh, I can now sell the thing about that. Because again, remember, they're able to do that in syndication in traditional media with, hey, we've got a show in syndication and it's great for ad placement. What do you guys want to do? Even when it's an old TV show or an old movie or whatever, they're able to do. So again, it's media buying and selling. I used to do this in corporate America. I worked in advertising and marketing, traditional advertising and marketing. So I used to do this buying and selling like side of things. I worked in entertainment broadcast for advertising. I worked in the tech sector when it came to marketing. So I've been on both sides. I've sat in every chair for this. We were the people making the ads. And then I came to a thing where it's like, hey, we're buying ad placement. And I had to design the ads either way or film the ads or do whatever. But so I've been on both sides of that seat there. And now I'm on the creator side of things. So I have that inside baseball in the industry. It's also what's helped me and helped me with helping my coaching clients on negotiating their deals, but also my own deals. I broker over 95% of my own deals, but I understand the jargon of the person that's in that seat that I'm having to sell to. So for me, I just look at this as a great opportunity for creators to monetize. Last thing is on this, another monetization option, public to members only live streams. So you can have a live stream that is public and then it can flip over to members only, which will entice people to realize the value of being part of your membership community because they
The
got to
moral
try it before they buy.
the moral of the story is if you don't think that YouTube's working for you, the creator, you're crazy. This is the most changes and evolving that YouTube has done on the side of the people that create for them. They understand where their bread is buttered. I know you would agree with that, Roberto.
Oh,
If they don't have amazing creators that are rewarded, not just monetarily, but being able to build their brand, then they have nothing. And it doesn't matter how much ad revenue they have or how much ad stock they have. They got to have really good content and people motivated to do. Now, I'm going to ask you this because I know you got to go here shortly. I'm going to ask you this. Are there any like AI tools or new tech that you're using that from the last time we spoke that's helping you maybe shave time off workflow or just new things that you've discovered that you think would be fun for the audience to try out themselves?
I'm doing stuff with the beta of Nano Banana from Google in Photoshop. So that's actually really interesting. And I know some people are, oh my God, AI slop. I think they need to get over it. Like human slop, AI slop is slop. So just make good stuff regardless of what your tools are. It's just another tool. And I'm not worried about the competition because I'm like, if it was such a big deal, why aren't there 2 million YouTube channels with a play button? Consumers are going to consume what they want, and someone consuming something, okay, do you want those people's eyeballs anyway? If they love AI slop and that's what the lowest common denominator likes, and you fancy yourself an artist, if your thing is so good, then it should get more attention if that's the case, number one. And then two, it's if you can't beat AI slop, what are you crying about? So because if you weren't winning before, if you were winning before AI slop and then you're in decline, you have a right to complain to some degree, but you also need to adapt or die. But if you weren't winning before AI, you have no business complaining now that it's here, because with it not existing, you weren't going to win anyway. It's just you being in your feelings, because if you weren't competing with AI, you'd still be competing with a creator that's better than you.
Yeah. The Nano Banana stuff from Google's crazy.
Yeah, are you just, oh, what? I feel better because I'm losing to a flesh and blood human instead of a clanker? No, you're still losing.
Yeah, I think AI acceptance and growth and speed of the technology is here and it's going to continue happening and you either will get left behind or you won't. I do encourage people not to utilize it as a replacement, but as a kind of a guide and a helpmate, a kind of a thing that's going to be alongside them as opposed to replace them. And I think once you get in that mentality, you'll be able to fully understand what it can do to help you.
Just use it as super soldier serum. It enhances what's already there. It can't make somebody who wasn't talented the best in the world. It can make them slightly above. It could take somebody who's nothing and make them slightly above average, but it won't turn them into a god. It's not that serious. So the thing is, if somebody who is really good decides to use it, they could get to these absurd cosmic levels of ability, but if they're resisting it, they're going to lose to somebody who was already slightly above average, uses this to augment their ability. Oh, now that person's competitive with you with the tool, but it's because the tool was rightfully addressing some limitation they had. Let's say someone's really good at ideation and are a really good writer. They're a fantastic writer, but they're poor. They live in a third world country, or they just got to America, or they grew up in a poor neighborhood here in America. They grew up in Appalachia. They grew up in the trailer park. They grew up in the ghetto, whatever it is. But they're a fantastic writer. But they live in a visual world that isn't just going to reward a good idea with no visuals. Now they have the ability to have visuals, and they might be able to communicate art direction better than you would be able to visually draw or produce or do all of this. So why is it that this poor person who can win shouldn't be allowed to compete with you on ideas just because you might have the visuals, but you're not as strong as a storyteller as them? Why should they be held back from the capacity to compete in a visual marketplace just because they have the best story, but they don't have the ability to communicate it to the screen? Now they do. Take an illustrator that's already good, but doesn't have when I was a kid, I wanted to be an animator, but I was broke. I was a broke kid. Like, we didn't have that kind of money. We didn't have the technology access. We had a computer, but it's not going to be able to run an animation program. Back then, there was no open source for animation, and it wasn't very good when there was, or if there was, your computer wouldn't be able to run it if you're a poor person. So now somebody who has $500-600 can sit there on an AI tool that's not exploding their computer And they can, if they're a traditional artist and illustrator, they can draw something, snap it with their phone, put it into their $500 computer, and take their own artwork and bring it to life and animate it and do the voice production for a fully animated theatrical film or short that they drew themselves, wrote themselves, and performed themselves, because AI lets them do it and compete in the marketplace of ideas. Why shouldn't they be able to do that? No, learn to draw frame by frame animation, learn to do computer animation. I don't care that you're poor. It's like BS. I don't like it. Like, I love that AI is here because it will take people who had legitimate limitations, either physically or financially, and give them a way to compete in the marketplace of ideas, and may the best creator win.
All right, guys. I know Roberto he and I could talk about this stuff, if you can't tell, for hours on end. Roberto has his own podcast. I will link to everything. Awesome Creator Academy, his YouTube channel, him over on LinkedIn and Instagram, and all the places you can find him. Also, if you like this conversation, okay, we did one back in April of this year and talking about 2025 and beyond on YouTube. And then we also have 6 other episodes all the way back from episode 52. We are now on episode 468 of this podcast. Speaking of podcasts, that I would not let this thing die, and we are continually growing in the creator space. And I love this show because of people like Roberto being willing to come on and share their knowledge. So Roberto, thank you so much, my friend. And I'm sure we'll have you on again soon.
Yep. Talk to you soon. Take care.
And that's a wrap on this week's episode of the Creators Hub podcast. I really hope you enjoyed listening to that conversation with Roberto as much as I did having it. I love talking to him about the creator economy and everything that he foresees coming in the future. Don't forget to check out all of our offerings, our creator coaching program, our creator mastermind group, as well as our YouTube channel reviews. Don't forget to check out our email newsletter, and all the links that might be mentioned in the show from any of our guests are on our running spreadsheet called the Entrepreneur's Toolbox. Everything linked down below in the show notes. We'll talk to you guys next week.